Hi. Today, there's a certain topic that I wanted to talk about, which is kind of broad but kind of very specific at the same time. I want to talk about autism. AUTISM, not any other word that I could have mispronounced. Um, my partner, his name is Jim. He has been diagnosed with a high level of autism. No, it's not a high level. It's high level of intelligence. He has literally what we call savantism. He's a savant. He's a genius savant. He has a very, very high IQ, and he has autism as well, which means a lot of things. And those are the things that I wanted to talk about today. Because as his partner, I do have to pay a lot of attention to that as well. And at the same time, he's very, very good at not letting it, not letting it take over his day or ruin my own mood, or is very sensible about that. So one of the things that crosses my mind when I think about that is how many people just cannot accept that there is an IQ gap anywhere in the world. Like there are IQ gaps everywhere. Not everyone has the same intelligent potential. Not everyone does the same connection at the same speed. It's basically what it means. Something that will sound or look obvious to someone else that may just look like, what? I don't understand where that's coming from. Anyway, so first thing is to recognize in my relationship with him. Anyway, I want to talk about autism, about IQ, that's for sure. But all of that is really specific to what I am going through. I'm just relating about my own personal experience. I'm not trying to make any claim about what it is and what isn't. I'm just saying that's how I live my relationship with the person that I chose to be with, and who happens to be a savant autistic, an autistic savant. Yeah, it's just more English if I do it like that. So it's a very broad topic, I get it, but I will try to focus it on my own view of what I'm going through with that, and what he is going through, and what is related to me. So first, the IQ gap. Being a savant means that everything goes very fast in your brain, much faster than most people. That means that he is able to do things that I personally cannot even fathom. He's able to hold different kind of thoughts at the same time, like basically hold conversations in his head about whatever topic he wants to talk about with himself, like astrophysics, physics or whatever, or the last guitar that he wants to buy. And at the same time, he can have a written conversation, a followed written conversation with someone while talking to me. And I'm like, it's just, no, if I want to be fully attentive to what you say, I need to focus my whole energy into it. Otherwise, I know that I'm going to miss some stuff. And for him, it's like, well, it's just so easy. And those are little details like that people just don't realize. They think it's just, oh, he knows better than anyone. No, I mean, in some ways, yes, he does, unfortunately, because he recognizes patterns in a way that just, he sees things coming in a way. It's like people are predictable. They're not that unique. They're not the unique butterflies that they think they are. They're not, oh, so you don't know me. You don't know my story. Well, if you give me the headlines, I'm pretty sure I'm going to guess which kind of patterns you're going to reproduce. And that's basically his whole life. And he's proved it time and times again. But people just don't want to believe it because it's the society of individuals, of my sensitivity, my emotions come before any kind of fact that has any kind of weight in the real life. So he had to fight all his life. So that's the part of savantism. That's the high genius, high IQ level. But coupled to that is autism. Part of what autism is to him is a deep and profound and just raw inability to lie to himself. He is not capable of maintaining a lie that will just not make him move toward a positive direction. Lying is a sign of you're hiding something from the pain. Just face your pain. Just deal with the pain. It's going to be much better afterwards than just trying to hide from it. It's going to come back after anyway at some point. And so he has this inability to lie to himself or lie to others. I mean, he can produce lies, but like minor lies without any consequence. Not big fat lies. He couldn't just not like sustain it for long enough because he would get lost in what did I tell him? What was the narrative already? Like what? And like, no, why don't you just stick to the truth? It's just much easier. Just be who you are. Just tell people that's who I am. Do you want me? Cool. You don't want me? That's fine. I'll go and look somewhere else. Talking about whether it's music, martial arts, relationships, work, whatever it is. But it's for him, it's unfathomable to just accept the big scheme. Like, he had to leave the United States because he's a Black American. And so he was persecuted his whole life since he got a felony when he was 19. Since then, he just can't apply for any fucking job. And so it's the gray economy, it's the black market, it's surviving. And he's learned a lot and observing people and learning from experiences with individuals and seeing patterns again. And he has this very... I'm envious when I think about that. He has this ability to detach his emotions pretty easily from decisions. It's, okay, this is a fact. Is it better than this other fact? There's no emotions in that. There's no, oh, but I feel better about this one than that one. Fuck your feelings sometimes, you know? Feelings are not going to make you forward and take decisions that are going to be constructive for you, because people have to go through challenges. People have to go through trauma. They have to face their shit. None of us is perfect. All our parents, each of us, all our parents and all societies has fucked us up in some way or another, even though they meant the best for you. And that's another topic for another day. But what I'm trying to say here is that, okay, from my perspective, what it means, for the last 4 years that I've lived with this man, I've realized that a lot of things that I thought were true were just not true. But mostly those things were based on my ignorance. They were based on I thought that something was possible, was what it is. For example, my sexual identity, let's say. And him putting me in front of truths that just deny or whatever, not deny, but question what I thought I knew all these years. And I'm like, oh, well, that's interesting. I never saw it that way. And you can wave it off pretty easily when it's someone that you just meet in the street or it's just a friend, you know? But when it's the person you live with, it's something that I hear often then. And it's something that embodies him. Like, he lives his own principles. His principles are wellness first, for example, when you're in the martial art room. Or just don't do to others what you don't want to be done to you. And he lives that. He will never do to someone something that he wouldn't be okay to accept himself, one way or another. And he's a very... integrate? No, not integrate. Integrity. He has integrity. He sorry. He just can't lie. Is himself, is raw, is what is. What is what is. Don't try to make up some bullshit. And it's been hard. We had like 8 hours long conversations where I would just yell at him and cry, and he would just stand here and like, bitch, you know what? You can yell all you want, you can emote all you want, but in the end, facts are facts. And the fact is that this and this and that happened. Okay, yeah, after a while, you're just exhausted, and I'm like, yeah, you're right. It was just about emotions. It was just about my feeling about it, and not about reality. And he calls it the training. Whenever someone asks him, like, how did you meet, or how come you guys are together, or whatever, how come you guys last, or whatever. And it's like, I train her. And they can't understand what it means because they think it's misogynist. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's a contract that we have together. We're in a relationship. We need to work together so that we move both forward as individuals in our private shit, like whatever endeavors we want to carry as our own person, as well as a couple and a family. You know, it's not, hey, I go and do my job and you go and do your job and we meet at home and we're not really involved in each other's life except for maybe raising the kids and paying the loans. And I'm like, I don't want that kind of life. That sucks. I mean, not that it sucks because a lot of people choose it somehow, but I'm like, I'm not I'm not that kind of girl. I'm gonna get bored. No. And it was a bit abrupt, my meeting with Jim, that's for sure. I had to give up a lot of preconceived ideas. I still am. It's a complete journey, and I hate that word, journey. Ugh, it just means everything and nothing now. It's complex, that's for sure. Our relationship has seen ups and downs, and he thought he would lose me many times because of the way I was just over-emoting. I was prioritizing my feelings over, okay, what's good for me? What do I need to move forward? What do I need to do every day so that I can be where I want to be in 5 years? And not too many people just focus on that, I think. And I was never focusing on that either before. Like, I didn't see the point. Not that I see the point, but I was like, yeah, there are those people who do that, you know? There are those people who have those big goals and it's cool. I'm just going to get a job and settle down and have a family and do like everyone else. But in the end, am I complete as a human being? Is it what I want to be? You know, is it the only thing that I want to be also? And so for the last 4 years, it's just opened me up, like opened my eyes to a lot of other scenarios and told me like, okay, now when you see the reality of facts, those are the facts. What do you choose? Do you want to do that? Like people have, for example, there's this piano method that I'm following. And the guy has set up some system that makes you learn a lot of things very fast. And at first I was like, yeah, another one of those jerks, you know, because they're just everywhere on the internet. But I gave it a try, which would have never happened before. I would have been, no, I'm going to go on YouTube and research myself, blah, 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 don't take recommendations, blah. I always kind of get that jerk, yeah. So I'm getting out of it, don't worry. But what I want to say is, yeah, I'm finally trying things out. I'm finally accepting that it's fine. I can be, and the sound engineer and the photographer and the self-employed and / entrepreneur and taking care of an autistic person because he has needs as well and his medical profile is far from being clean. So he needs to be taken care of sometimes in some ways. So I can be that person as well. I can be a drummer, I can be a keyboardist as well. I don't have to confine myself to one single denomination. Am I, you're a marketing assistant, you're a business entrepreneur, yeah, I'm all those things, you know what? And that's cool. You can be whatever you want in the end. Just give yourself, put efforts into it, challenge yourself. Don't just stay in your routine and yeah, it's fine, let's see how the government handles it. I'm just like, ugh. Take action for yourself. If you don't take action for yourself, then where do you want to be in 5 years? It's the same thing. Where do you want to be in 10? And I have those answers. I know where I want to be. I know exactly how I want my life to look like. So I'm doing everything that I can so that I can make it happen. But the me from a year ago wouldn't have been able to tell you that. It's a constant progress, and I'm starting to now chemically in my body feel much better than I have ever been, much more positive, much more enthusiastic about doing things. And so I want to keep moving forward like that, you know? And Jim really gives me that push, that help, that, hey, stop lying to yourself, stop wasting your time. You're better than that. You're worth more than that. You have more potential than you think. And he really, really, truly believes in me. And I'm blessed. I feel very, very lucky to have him, that's for sure. So those are the first things that I want to say. There will be more things that I will share, that's for sure, because that's a deep and constant learning curve. But I'm gonna stop for now because that's quite a lot already. So yeah, savantism and autism, two things that go in pair with the person that I've chosen to be with. And it's not always easy, but once you try to stick around and you're not trying to run away at the first obstacle, then you realize that it's just not that bad in the end. My life has done much better than I thought it ever would. Ever. I had no idea. And that I had no idea all those things were possible. That's the thing. So I'm glad. I'm very glad to be here and to be able to share that also, because maybe some people have autism over there, wherever you are that you're listening to me, and never suspected they had, and realized that, okay, if I'm able to do this, like there are a lot of things like sensory disorders. He has a lot of sensory disorders. Some days he's gonna not hear anything, for example, like kind of deaf kind of thing, and some days he's gonna hear everything through the walls up to the conversation of the neighbors. So it's crazy. Some days he's gonna struggle taking a shower because he feels every drop of water hitting like a needle. And that's the kind of things that people can't understand unless they experience it. And if you've ever experimented some kind of sensory disorder linked to any kind of drug, or just you have probably a problem, maybe you have a problem in your nervous system that affects you in some way, maybe by waves or by depending on the season, just like some people, their joints ache whenever there's rain. Maybe, and you got to be careful about that, because you don't. The good thing about him is that he never uses that as a pretext not to do anything. I will indulge in just bringing stuff to him so that he doesn't have to move around, because his neck is injured. He has 3 herniated discs in his spine, so he's in constant pain. And because of his size, he can't really have the kind of surgery that everybody goes for. So, yeah, it's another long topic, this one as well. Anyway, thank you so much for staying, for listening, and I wish you a good day. And if there's any question that you want to ask, anything you want to share, just drop a message. I'll probably disable the comments because I don't want to have to deal with that, because it's not supposed to be something big, and it's probably not going to turn something big. But in case it does, I can't be spending my time reading comments. So I'll put some email address that you can email me at. If you have any questions, please let them be relevant. Don't just waste my time or yours. And I wish you a good day. Bye.